Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Akins, good look from the corner.
I know we're a good shooting team. It's because all the information I've had for the last 6 months kind of tells that story.
A lot of hard work this offseason and a lot of hard work from a lot of people. And it's a group effort, and everybody's done their job so far this year, and good things have happened.
I really think it's a great way to end the season. It's a New Year's Six Bowl, and I just think it's a great reward for our players. I know the guys are excited about playing in it.
With just one look, you can see the Duffy Doherty building is filled with a lot of cheer right now. Of course, the holiday season will do that, but the bigger reason why everyone within Michigan State's football program is in such good spirits is because it's bowl season. And the Spartans aren't just playing in any old bowl. On December 30th in Atlanta, number 10 Michigan State will face number 12 Pittsburgh in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. It's what they wanted, a New Year's Six bowl game. So we thought, why not start this week's episode with Coach Mel Tucker, who is thrilled to be playing in ATL.
It's an accomplishment for our team. I really think it's a great way to end the season. It's a New Year's Six Bowl. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl has a lot of prestige. It's really kind of an elite bowl. I spent a lot of hard work and dedication, and I just think it's a great reward for our players. I know I just talked to Speedy. He left my office. He said, "Coach, let's go get this one, man. One more, just finish strong." So I know the guys are excited about playing in it.
Would it have been a letdown if you didn't get a New Year's Six bowl?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We wanted to get a New Year's Six bowl, and we knew that we have that caliber of team. And so, unfortunately, we didn't have to go through that range of emotions there. We got it. We got to a New Year's Six bowl, and it's a great one. And so now it's all about our preparation.
A lot of the players too were mentioning how they want to play in the bowl. After it was first announced, they said this is a game that you get excited for because of how big it is. And so, what do you hope to see one last time out there on the field from this group of guys?
Yeah, well, first foremost, I love this group of guys. It's a special team. I want to see them finish strong. I know that they're very motivated to play. They know that our best football is still ahead of us, and I want to see complementary football, offense, defense, and special teams working all together for 60 minutes, 4 quarters in the game. If we can do that, then we can finish strong.
This week, the Heisman finalists were released. You're going to be playing against a Heisman finalist in Kenny Pickett, but your Kenny was left off of the list. Do you feel as though he was snubbed in that department by not even getting an invite to go to New York City?
Well, I thought that he would get an invite to New York, and it didn't happen. But, obviously, we know what type of player he is. He proved it on the field. He's very dynamic. He's a difference maker. He's a big reason why we've had so much success as a team, not just offense, but as a team this season. And there's no doubt in my mind that he's one of the top 3 or 4 players in the country. And so we know that here. We celebrate him here, and he knows that he's appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, you guys obviously advertise quite a bit, #K9 for Heisman. And so do you think that have you had any conversations with him since it was released?
Yeah, I have, but I've talked to him, but it's all been about this team and the next game. He's a really humble kid and young man, and I know that the Heisman was important to him, but again, he has things in perspective, and he knows what's most important is what he does next.
He has to be very excited too to be able to play in a stadium like Mercedes-Benz Stadium, turf field. A lot of the next maybe phase for him essentially. Has he talked about that as well?
We haven't talked about that yet, but I know that the team is buzzing a little bit. Mercedes-Benz is a great venue, and I've coached in that stadium several times, and it's a big-time atmosphere. Our players are going to love it. It's a fast track, like you said. It's an NFL stadium, and so for a lot of guys, it's a glimpse on the next level, so to speak.
When was the last time that you coached in a bowl game?
The last time I coached in a bowl game was probably 2017 when we were in the playoffs. I was at Georgia, so we were in the playoffs at Georgia. That was 2017, and we played Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl, and the championship game against Alabama. I forget where that was. I forget what bowl game that was in, but yeah, it's been since 2017. 2018, I left to go to Colorado before. And I did not coach in the bowl game in the Sugar Bowl.
So it's been a little bit of time.
It's been a little bit of time. I've coached in the Peach Bowl, I think 3 times. Maybe in 2000 with Coach Saban at LSU. I coached in the Kickoff Classic in 2016. I've coached in Mercedes-Benz several times. We have a ton of alums in the Atlanta area, and so it's going to be huge for them. And there's a lot of folks talking about, a lot of Spartans talking about going down to Atlanta to check us out. And we recruit heavily in the state of Georgia, especially Atlanta. So it's a very good venue for us to put our best foot forward.
And I know, yes, you have 1 game left, so you're not really in full-on reflection mode. But we know that the noises outside of the building don't really mean anything to you guys. It's what happens in here. But to be able to go 2-5 and then 10-2, just have you had time to reflect on that?
I really haven't had time to reflect, but we have made significant improvements and we're on the right track. We feel like we're building something special here, and our process is in place, our culture is in place. We're recruiting like crazy. We're not done yet with this season, and when it's all said and done, probably after the second signing date, we'll have a little bit of time to reflect leading into spring ball.
Okay, well, have fun this week getting ready for the Peach Bowl, and I'll see you next week sometime.
Yeah, thank you so much. Go Green.
In the midst of all of the bowl excitement, there was another person who wasn't very pleased to see that Walker was not invited to New York. Redshirt sophomore quarterback Peyton Thorne has delivered a lot of handoffs to Walker this season, and he shares his thoughts on the snub when we come back.
As we go to break, Farm Bureau Insurance invites you to register to win an exclusive private dinner with head coach Tom Izzo. Go to InsideTheGreensweeps.com to register.
Tap into savings when you use your MSU Federal Credit Union Visa Signature Credit Card. The Visa Signature Credit Card gives you more cash back, like 3% cash back on groceries, 2% cash back on gas, travel, and universities, and 1% cash back on everything else. Simply tap to pay with your MSU FCU Visa Signature. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Tap to pay, get more cash back with the MSU FCU Visa Signature Credit Card.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
The last time Michigan State's football team played in a New Year's Six bowl game, Connor Cook was the quarterback, and it's not the first time this year Peyton Thorne's name has been mentioned alongside of Cook's. Back in September, the sophomore QB joined Cook as just the second quarterback in Michigan State's history to throw 4 touchdowns in back-to-back games. He's had an impressive season as a first-year starter for the Spartans, and our Nick Mantis was able to discuss it with him.
A 6'2", 210-pound sophomore from Naperville, Illinois, number 10, Peyton Thorne.
Feels like temperatures 23, swirling snow. It's definitely snowing. They're going to go for this on 4th and 15. To the end zone, single coverage, and oh my goodness, Thorne touched the play. The quarterback gave him a chance.
Let's just start with just kind of the basics. What this season has been like for you. Obviously, you go from 2 wins to only 2 losses, 10-win season, a program that's turned itself around. From your eyes, what has it been like?
You know, it's been great. A lot of hard work this off season, and a lot of hard work from a lot of people. And it's a group effort, and it takes everybody that's involved. And everybody's done their job so far this year, and good things have happened. You know, it's been good.
24 touchdowns, almost 3,000 passing yards. and the way in which you've really developed as a dual threat as well, not just being able to run the ball, but also kind of get out there and make an incredible catch, you know, and that huge game.
He catches it. I think he's in bounds. I think you've got to look at that replay booth.
What's it like for you to see like this is kind of all coming together at the right time?
Yeah, it's been fun. You know, it's been a long journey. I feel like I've progressed this year, and that's credit to our coaches, credit to Coach Johnson, and just a credit to my teammates as well. You know, my teammates have played well all year. Offensive line plays well. It always starts up front. You know, the receivers were doing their job all year, and then obviously Ken did his thing all year, and everybody was able to watch that. But yeah, it's been a fun year. I feel like the development has gone well, and I think that we're just going to keep improving in every room in our facility.
You kind of hinted at a little bit with the way in which Ken has been playing and stuff. Well, what's been kind of the reaction from this team, kind of seeing that he wasn't a Heisman finalist?
Yeah, you know, it's disappointing to see that. You know, you look at the Heisman finalists, and they're all good players, but you know, at the same time, you know, he was deserving of being there, and quite honestly, he was deserving of being right up there in the voting, and I honestly think he still will be. But you know, you look at what he did for our team, and you look at not only the stats that he put up, but you know how he did it. If you watch the film and watch the stuff that he did, you'll say this guy is a Heisman running back. You know, he brings everything to the table in his game, and not only that, but he's a great person, he's a great teammate, and he's an incredibly hard worker. So he really is everything that you could look for in a Heisman Trophy candidate, and I was pretty disappointed to see that they didn't you know, invite him to New York.
Has there been any conversation between you guys? You shoot him a text or anything like that when you heard the news?
Oh, I didn't. I was able to talk to him the next day. I saw him the next day, and I just told him, because he knows how I feel. You know, I think he should win the thing, and you know, that's not discrediting anybody else, because I think other guys have had great years as well. But I think he was second in the country in rushing yards and first in Power 5, and you know, his yards after contact, all that stuff. You know, you can't look past that. And then you watch the actual film, and you know, he's a wow running back. You know, but yeah, I talk to him all the time, and he knows how I feel. And you know, I know he's very confident in his abilities as well.
You can't tell me after hearing that the Spartans are not motivated to go out and put on an awe-inspiring performance in the Peach Bowl. All right, it's time to check in on another team on campus who's been able to turn it around from a year ago as well. Tom Izzo has improved his point guard play as well as getting significant minutes from his freshman class. And when we come back, we're going to visit with the Hall of Fame coach.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
After a quick stroll down the street, we have made it to the Breslin Center, where it is an exciting week for the MSU men's basketball team. The Spartans started Big Ten play this week, and if you've ever wondered why Tom Izzo chooses the lineups that he does or continues to have faith in a certain player who may be going through a shooting slump during games, it's because of the numbers that he's seen in practice, thanks to a sensor-based system better known as Shot Tracker.
Well, number one, I'm not an expert at it. You know, we were approached a couple years ago with it. Magic's a little bit involved with it, so it became intriguing to me because everything he touches turns to gold. And we actually hired a guy, Cole Miller, who has done a great job for us in helping us with the analytics side of things. But what the Shot Tracker does is, as you can see, they get charged every day, and somewhere in here there's a little chip. And that little chip is like a satellite dish that relays things up into these markers we have all over the place, and then they relay it to our people here. So every time the guy has a little piece on his shoe or in his back, it charts it. Whether you make a shot, miss a shot, get a rebound, it's amazing what it can chart. And then we put that up on the big screen and during practice sometimes, so guys that normally are telling you how good they're shooting realize they're not, or some guys that are frustrated with their shot, I say, hey, you're 8 out of 10. But it really helps, like free throws. It really helps when they come in on their own and we're not here, because the hardest thing everybody has to do is self-evaluate. This evaluates for you.
Yeah, and this is also in the arena as well, on the main floor. Yep. You guys have it.
The men and women, yeah, we do, and we all have the balls that, it's amazing what they did. That was a piece of work too to get those things right, but it really has worked. You know, I'm sure it has its glitches here and there, and I'm sure an expert, maybe next time we'll bring Cole in, But it has helped us, like, especially in the off season, really track where our guys are. Are they really improving on their shooting? Do they think they're improving and they're really not? So if you took 100 shots right now, I could tell you were 80 out of 100, and then I'd recruit you. I could tell you were 8 out of 100, and then I'd keep you in TV.
Right, exactly. I'd want to stay in TV at that point. You have been very pleased, though, with your offense this year so far in this season. I mean, I don't know, the Toledo game, you guys had 9 3-pointers in that first half, and a lot of it was you were impressed with the penetration and the kick out.
I've been impressed with our offense as far as the shots we're getting. I haven't been impressed as far as what we're making. And of course, part of your offense is your turnovers, and you know I've been depressed with that. But, you know, I do think that that's why I said, when I said I'm disappointed we're not shooting as well, because I know we're a good shooting team. It's because all the information I've had for the last 6 months kind of tells that story. The analytics of that tell it, and that's all you can go on.
Too, you mentioned that you want to get some more hard twos, and the importance of getting those hard twos.
Yeah, you know, the tough twos, as they call them in the NBA, I mean, if a team can shoot 41 or 2% from the tough twos, they're going to be better off, you know. A lot of people, the NBA relies on making you take all the tough twos because they just are in 3 points or dunks. We're kind of in between, but tough twos are something that we work on, the pull-up jump shot. You got to be able to make them. What you don't want to make or take is long twos. If you're going to be a long two, it might as well be a 3.
Yeah. How important is that, too, for Big Ten play to be aggressive inside just because of how physical the conference is?
Yeah, that was the other thing I was disappointed in the Toledo game. I did not think we got the ball to Marcus enough, you know. So we're trying to find some balance between our perimeter guys getting our fast break, which gets us more open shots, pounding the ball inside. I mean, all those things are part of this process. That'll take more than 8 games. Hopefully it won't take 28 games.
The Spartans use Shot Tracker every day when they're at practice, and even when they come in and just shoot around on their own. It is a great resource for the program. And if you thought we were done with Izzo, well, think again, because the first net rankings were released this week. And not only is he going to comment on them, but his philosophy of playing anybody at any time and anywhere is still extremely relevant. Stay with us.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Ever since the beginning of the season, Tom Izzo has made a point to mention how tough the Spartans' non-conference slate was. And this week, he and his squad were rewarded for it. The first net rankings of the season came out on Monday, and Michigan State has the toughest schedule of any high major program in Division I. It's where we begin part 2 of our chat. You've been mentioning how tough of a schedule it is, but please go more into the Izzo factor.
Well,
that you
yeah, you know, like every year we play a good schedule. You've been around here long enough as a student and as a worker, and you know, that's one thing we've taken some pride in. But it seems like a lot of times all of a sudden we're 20-something or this or that, and it's because now a lot of the smaller schools in the preseason, especially, they're playing Michigan, Michigan State, they're playing Iowa, they're doing it financial reasons and other reasons. So their schedules are tougher. So we're 9th in the entire country, but we're number 1 in the Power 5 ones. And I think that speaks volumes for us, you know. I think there's some other teams that have scheduled very well, but at least we know we're preparing our guys for the Big Ten season. I said earlier to you that sometimes that means tougher competition, you don't have as much confidence in what you do. So that was the Dick Vitale, Tom Izzo argument early in my career. What is more important, confidence or competition? And somewhere there's a balance.
And Max Christie is someone who, you know, we see him as sort of like this perfectionist in a sense because he wants to do everything right. Freshmen, you said, really don't benefit from a tough schedule from a confidence standpoint, but how can he benefit down the road from it?
Oh, knowing Max like I do, the way he works, I mean, he's burnt out a couple of these balls. And, you know, Max is just a grinder. I mean, he is a perfectionist. Sometimes that works against you because you get so frustrated if you miss. You know, it's like in baseball, if you hit 1 out of 3, you're in the Hall of Fame. In basketball, if you ever shot 50%, you're in the Hall of Fame. That means you're going to miss one of every 2 shots you take, or you're going to strike out maybe 1 out of every 3 times and ground out the rest. So we lose perspective of that, I think, in sports. But Max, he needs a couple breakout games. I mean, there's nothing wrong with his shot. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing. There's nothing wrong with his work. His defense has been off the charts. It's, he'll feel so much better, and I'll feel better when he's making the shots that I watch him make every day here.
And he, with his defense, he said that it was like a huge goal of his to work on that coming into college. What were those conversations like with him, and why he felt it was so important for him to be better defensively?
Well, when you're ranked in the top 20, that automatically NBA people are talking about you and what you can do, what you don't do. One of the factors for him was his strength on a negative side, and could he guard people? And so him and I together, that weight room in there, he worked his tail off this summer. He is a lot stronger. And I think the defensive part, that was a personal goal. And, like a Gary Harris took that same approach. I'm really proud of Max for what he's done in that area. When that offense now comes around, you're going to see one of the more complete players, I think, that ever played here.
So he really did burn out a sensor?
Yeah, those guys go through them, It's like back in the day, Jason Richardson used to burn out my shooting machine, I tell him he still owes me one. But, these guys, they do spend a lot of time in here, and believe it or not, guys like him and Joey, who struggled a little bit with his shot, those guys might be doing the most. And if you looked at the shot tracker stuff, which someday maybe we'll sit down and I'll show you, you'd see how well they shoot in practice and how we can translate that in the game. And some of it is us, some of it is poor shooting, shot selection, some of it is just going through a little bit of a slump. I mean, there's been better players than our players that have gone through a slump, I promise you that.
Well, good luck opening Big Ten play this week, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Hope things are going well with the show, and I'll see you next week.
The road is only going to get tougher from here for the Spartans, with the Big Ten slate really heating up. And if you watched any of their Big Ten opener against Minnesota, you could tell that their strength of schedule played a big part in the win. They were ready for the Gophers' aggressiveness, and as a result, history did not repeat itself at Williams Arena. Next up is a date with Penn State here at home at the Breslin Center at 2 o'clock on Saturday, and the Spartans will look to improve to 2-0 in the conference. We hope you enjoy your weekend.